195. Can you believe it? Facebook Live launches just in its fourth year, and we were there almost on the first day. Still in search of awesome. We're in the the social media side of the internet, and we run into my guest tonight, Brooke. Maki, she is an Instagram video Jedi. She hangs out at Spark Salon, Maple Grove, Minnesota, my own backyard. Randy, you used to live in Maple Grove, I think. Salon owner is Heather Carlson. Summit coach Chad Foss. Actually, Chad blew in my ear and said, you got to talk to Brooke. He thought she was blowing it up. I agree. Let me tell you why I invited her tonight. She, in 2018, really was her first full year. And then from 18 to 19 last year, she doubles her income. So she blew it up big time. She is a level 2, soon to be level 3, like a few days away. 26, soon to be 27. Average service day is 350, not bad for a 2. Average service ticket, look at that ticket, 113. Haircut is 51. Do the math, man. That's like 2.5 plus. So she's doing a lot of special service beyond cutting hair. Trending 75 to 100 referrals this year, rebooking 50%, and you're going to see her RTS just stays very, very stable. So she's in the game big time. She's going to tell you about her story. Very interesting story. She's been on a real journey. She graduates from high school in 11, hair school 17, starts at Spark on 2017, Spark Salon first year, 2018. And like I said, blows it up, almost triples her income. And she'll go way beyond 60 this year. So she's in the game big time. If you're not following her yet, here's her Instagram handle, and we'll post it at Brooke's Flair for hair, and she has a similar. Her handle on Facebook is Brooke Sparks Salon Style. She also is a TikToker, so you're gonna want to. She's got some really cool stuff going on TikTok, and her handle there is looks like Brookie Cookie 26, and we follow each other. So there, those are her handles. She uses the BOM iPhone X, has just under 700 followers on Instagram. About 25% of her guests following her, and the overwhelming majority of her referrals are coming from social. So she's got a lot to add. She's in the green room. We're going to get her talking about her story, as we always do, because that's inspiring. And then while she's here, we're going to take a little field trip to her Instagram page. She's doing a couple other things behind the chair that I think you'll find to be interesting. Let's go back there now and see if she's there. And she is, and you should be giving it up for her right now, you guys.
Yeah.
What did you hear me bragging on you?
No.
Yeah. Well, thank you for coming on, and I know it's been a long day, and I've been looking forward to having you on and interviewing, so welcome.
Thank you.
So, Brooke, we always love to get the story, because the story, it's personal and it's inspiring, and a lot of people identify. I know you've told me your story. I think it's a very moving story. So let's begin by who you are and what your life was like before it pivoted and took this turn, and what kind of motivated you to get to this place that you're at right now.
Well, like most of us, I'm sure, we all start off with a plan and we want it to go that way, but that's not life. So I started off with graphic design, going to school for that for a little bit. Then I had a little bit of a traumatic event happen, unexpected, that kind of turned me around. But then I had a moment where I needed to figure out a new purpose. And that's where I ended up in hair. And it's where I should end up. I love it.
Yeah. So you walked through some setback in physical life, experienced some trauma, and kept walking through that, and that kind of got you to the on ramp, if you will, to hair industry, from graphic design to hair. Now, there's always these definable moments that happens in people's life, like you and the people that we've interviewed, that really kind of change up the trajectory and get us going in a much, much more favorable path. I know that event happened in your life. Tell us about it.
So So everybody knows I got a traumatic brain injury in a car accident a while back, and threw me for a loop. Once I was able to kind of put pieces together, the thing that clicked was, I got to thank my mom. Hey, Mom. She told me, in life, you've got to choose to do something. So you can sit there, make excuses and stuff, and, cry for a while, obviously, and heal. But then when you choose to do something, you just go for it. Pick your pair of heels and strut.
And so that happened for you, and you had these little one-liners where you turn trauma into a new purpose, and you turn your knowledge of pain into a tool. So you refuse to be a victim, but a survivor, a warrior, and now a thriver. So that's the turning point. And I know that because you're working in a summit salon. When you get in there, you're also seeing the level charts, and that was almost like nitroglycerin on the bonfire, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, it paved a path, because I'm a person that, like, you give me a path, you say you do, I'll do it. So the summit system was a total ladder for me to just keep going up and continue going up.
So as I've gotten to know you and really heard your story in the last year or two, you're to a place now that's almost diametrically opposite of the place you were in. Like
Yeah.
your life has been transformed. People that hear this story, they're going, I wonder what it's like to be her today. How has this changed you, and how has this changed your life?
So, if anyone's ever been through trauma, obviously it's overwhelming, and it envelops you. So I had to be able to take that and turn it into something that could be a passion, turn it into a fuel that could help others. So I could drain the bad, but also take in the good. It's kind of like a recycle thing, if that makes sense.
Oh yeah.
Get rid of my bad. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
people like you get on the when you get on the back end of what you walk through, it's either going to make you bitter or make you better. And this is like, it looks like, as I've listened to you and watched you, it's like it's bettered you on steroids. It's almost like now it's a blessing in disguise.
yeah. No, it's not like, oh yeah, I woke up one morning and I'm just like perfect. But it's obviously to this day, it's still hard, but to be able, it's good that it's hard, because that's my fuel.
Yeah,
So.
and you're only 26, so I think you're just getting warmed up.
Oh yeah, I'm ready.
So, like, as you kind of look out, what's next for you in the next year or two? What do you see yourself? Where do you see yourself going from here?
So, working in my awesome salon, Spark Salon in Maple Grove, I've found that education and inspiring others or influencing others has come kind of naturally. So, and I love it. So I'm pursuing that and working my way up with the level system, and just really open to a lot of options.
Oh yeah. So
ideally, I want to create a platform that I can reach as many people as I can, and just play a big game of telephone that everybody can hear, and the sentences, you can do it.
They're hearing you loud and clear too. So a lot of people watching tonight, and there's going to be a few thousand people that are going to see this over the next few weeks. They're looking at you, they're listening to you, they're identifying with you, with one profound exception. They're in a place like the place you were in. You're in a place they'd love to be, but almost find it to be unbelievable. I wonder, is this possible for me if I took the shot? What might you say to them that would inspire them to take the shot like you did?
I would say never give up. Just keep going. Keep inspired. Being inspired is the biggest thing. I find myself very often where I'm like, oh, I don't want to go to work. I don't want to do this. But then I know that, like, sometimes when I go on TikTok and I see a video where I'm like, hey, I could do that. And then it just puts like a fire under my butt. And I'm like, I'm going to make that today. And then, finding something that gives you that little butterfly, or like gets you anxious to do it.
Yeah.
go for it.
I love the answer that you gave because it sounds like in those days, and we all have them, where you're almost like bogged down, emotionally swamped with, I don't want to do this today. And
Mm-hmm.
yet you kind of you're resourceful enough that you find something to watch, to do, that kind of gives you the juice to kind of like break out of it and do it whether you feel like doing it for or not. That's what I get as I listen to
Mm-hmm.
you.
That's why there's influencers out there, because they're making that content for you. So
Yeah.
use it up.
Well, speaking of influencing and social and all of that, while I have you on tonight, I know you're doing some really interesting things on Instagram, some stuff on TikTok as well. Talk about you got like two or three keys. You know, your first key you talk about, you know, the idea of excitement, and you even have quotes, ants in your pants. What is that? And I want to go to your page on Instagram and show people what you're doing. So, what's that first key about?
Okay. So kind of like what I said, doing something that gets you fired up, gives you the ants in the pants. A thing I've loved doing is the TikToks and videos, or just like slow-mos of the client's hair. Like, they love it. Everybody wants a cool video of them, going slow-mo to like an awesome beat drop. But it just brings that experience up for them, and also puts that inspiration and fire into my day too. So I've been really focusing on my videos.
Yeah, and I see as I look at your grids, like if I count 15 pieces of work inside of the 15 pieces just on your grids, I'm counting one, two, four, six, at least half of your grids, you've got video, and some of it is slow motion, some of it is close up, some of it there, like some of it you've got. Like, how are you doing that? Like when you do that, is that all done with your app, or are you using? Is this all done with the video on your iPhone, or are you using other apps to kind of for special effect?
Yeah, no, what I recommend is finding a video editor. I use Splice. And really, just when at the end of your service with your client, take as many slow-mo videos as you can, videos in general, just to place clips in different areas to make it more enticing or different, instead of just a long video. And it gives you enough content to just be creative later, and just don't overthink it. Just take as much content as you can and do it.
Yeah. So what I'm getting from you is as I kind of like crawl your grid and get into the content of your video, you're showing the actual process, the service itself. You're showing the after effects, and what you're saying
Mm-hmm.
is, I'll take those pieces, and I will use an app on the end to splice them together. Did you say the app was Splice?
Yep, I use Splice. Some people, I think that there's something about something shot, but if you look and look up free ones, I don't pay for any of them, and they work pretty well, and no watermarks. But TikTok is a great way to use music without having to like pay for it. So,
Right.
and then also, the hair industry is taking off there. So I'd look into it if you guys want to get on board.
Yeah, what's your handle on TikTok? I'm on TikTok now, and I want to go find you.
Brookie Cookie 26.
Oh, there it is. Brookie Crookie B.
I wanted to pick the most professional name.
I can see that. I can see that. And I thought I thought I had you teed up, and so now and it's Brookie Cookie. What's your number?
26.
All right, good. I think I'm gonna have my producer Rob find you for me on my mobile, so I can keep talking to you. And then when he finds it, so do you when you create videos on TikTok, are you able to take that same content off of TikTok and upload it to so you can leverage it on Instagram, or do you have totally different video content on Insta than you do on TikTok?
Mostly I'm able to just put it onto Instagram. Then that way, it can kind of mesh together if people want to look at more. But most TikTokers kind of have it on their Instagram.
Yeah, so I'm on your TikTok page now, and I'm showing some of the work there. So tell me again, so this particular video that we're looking at, I know it lives on TikTok, does that same video, did you place it on Insta as well?
Yeah. So a thing with or like making videos, they look complex right away, but when I take the videos of my clients, I don't know what kind of music I'm putting behind it or what it's going to be later. So to break it down in a simple way is just take as much videos as you can. Really pay attention to how to direct your clients. So people will be like, I'll be like, I'm going to do a slow motion video. First of all, don't tell them, because then they're going to be like, okay. And they need to go quick. So just figuring out the way to get that content, and then just getting creative later keeps that inspiration.
As I'm crawling your TikTok grids, I see, there is a lot of content that you have on TikTok that also shows up on your Insta page as well. Do you create the actual editing on TikTok and then bring it to Instagram, or do you do everything off of that on your Splice app and then upload to both pages?
Yeah, I put clips together on my Splice app really quick, and then I'll put it onto TikTok, put music behind it, and hope it lines up. Sometimes they'll get a little picky and move it around.
Yeah, people want to know, like, how did you figure out Splice? Like, did you kind of like learn that on your own? Did you watch any YouTubes, or was it just from kind of playing around with it? You just kind of learned to navigate it. You learn how to cut and paste and edit, and like people, a lot of people are intimidated by that.
Yeah, to be honest, it comes easy for me. I've done it since I was a little kid. I used to have a YouTube channel for funsies, so I've always liked editing, but just playing with it because it was a passion of mine. That's what I wanted to do on my free time. So
yeah, and so now I'm in your Instagram highlight library, and I'm looking at a highlight file called balayage, and it looks like you got 60, 70 slides on that. How'd you put that together?
To be honest, I put I like to just, like, if you have no content to post that day, just throw one of your favorite hair pictures up and just keep it consistent, because, out of sight, out of mind type thing. So I just would pop it up, and then you can go onto the highlight to edit it, go to the archive, and you can hit everything that you've ever put on your story, and you're good from there.
So what you said is just really, really big. So you said you'll go hunting for content. Is that content that you've got in your own archive, or go hunting on the internet for content that you like?
Wait, what'd you say?
Yeah, so like, as I'm looking at this, I'm going through your balayage. Is that all of your content, or is that some content that you got from other places?
That's my content.
That's what I thought. And so these are all edited together and then I'm counting, it looks like this particular highlight's got 25 pieces of work edited together on it. And then as I look at your highlight library, you've got 2, 4, 6, 8, you're probably 8 to 10 different highlights in there as well.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm curious about is when out of your referrals, let's say you got 10 referrals from social, how many of those referrals would come from Instagram versus TikTok? Do you ever kind of take a guesstimation and as to how many you're getting from either one of those platforms?
I would say, okay, TikTok hasn't been a super big place to get referrals yet, because it's just starting up. Just starting up on there. But I would say Facebook is super, like, people can talk more on it. So word of mouth is also incorporated with them seeing photos of my work. So I feel like the most is on Facebook, but then people are referred to look at the Instagram, and that kind of sells it because of the aesthetic of the page. As soon as they open it, they're like, okay, that's what I wanted. So a thing I like to do is, if somebody's like looking for a hairstylist near me, I have people like put my Instagram
Facebook.
on there and they can just pop it up. It's like a portfolio.
What you're saying is real interesting. That you're saying that the referrals you're getting are the first platform you underscored was Facebook, and they'll go to Instagram, look at your content. Facebook, they're talking to people in your community, but it sounds like it's the combination between the two that you're getting your referrals from. It's a 1 + 1 is 4.
Mm-hmm.
And,
yeah, definitely.
And then you like, and I think we talked about you over time have almost developed your own skill set in your videography, from slow-mo to time lapse to you're putting things into through Splice. How long have you been doing that, using it behind the chair, like since day one? Because you were playing with this before you became a hairdresser. At least that's what it sounded like.
Yeah. I really latched onto it once I started in the salon. I got more comfortable with it, and I was seeing a lot of feedback from people. So instead of being like, oh, I know you do hair, it was always like, I love seeing your videos online. Like, you're doing so good. And like, I was getting a lot of feedback from that. So videos are like, everybody likes to see stuff in movement. Before and afters are great. But
yeah, and I'm on your Facebook page now, and kind of crawling that to see, you've got some videos on there, some of your works, a lot of engagement. And so you're saying it's almost like Facebook plus Instagram is not 1 + 1 is 2, but 1 + 1 is like 10.
Mm-hmm.
There's a
Instagram's your portfolio. Facebook is your engagement.
And then when you have clients coming in, are you using your Instagram grids as kind of your digital lookbook? And how do your clients, how do they respond when you use that in your consultation?
How do they what?
How do they respond? Like when you're talking to them about a piece of your work on your Instagram page, and you're using your mobile, or maybe they're on your page. How's that feel? Because that's kind of that was almost non-existent a year or 2 years ago.
A few things happen, so they feel more comfortable knowing what they're going to get. They like, if I have new people sit in my chair, you have a client that's like, I don't know if I should trust you, but somebody referred me to you. Okay, let's try this. I'll tell them, like, my handle's right on my mirror. So I say, take a look. I'm going to go mix up and consult and stuff. And they'll be like, you did this? So there's more comfort there knowing what they see.
Right.
And they get really excited about the videos, being like, like, do we get to do a video? So
yeah, it really that's really key. You said two things. One, when you're showing them your work on your page and you're underscoring, it's like they're saying to you, oh my God, you did this. So it kind of builds up your credibility. And when they see you're as much of a videographer as you are photographers, they're saying, are you going to do a video of me? Right? I mean, it's almost like a gift with purchase.
Yeah.
It gives you a value added. Now, the last thing that you say, and then I'm going to let you go, and that is that you make the statement, I share all of my content with my clients. Right?
Yes.
And so that my clients can have it and either repost or upload or whatever. How are you getting your content to your clients? You're like airdropping when they're in real time, or do you text, or like, how's it get to them?
So I kind of feel it out. Some people are comfortable with airdrop. I usually go through Instagram and I message them, or I tell them that, like, hey, follow me on Instagram. I'll send you this content. I'd love for you to, share it. You look great in it. And this way, we work so hard to make content for everybody on our page, hoping it's going to reach out. But, you'll have like 1,000 or 600 people under you. You have somebody else post it. You got a whole nother 600 seeing you. And then it just spirals up from there.
So if you have and you and I didn't chat about this, these are just questions that I'm coming up with as I'm listening to you. But let's say you have a client that you send the content to, they put it on their page and they've got a few hundred followers. Do you kind of stay close to their page to see what kind of engagement they get? And are you engaging in their captions, or are you like, if you see somebody made an interesting comment, are you like going to their page to go, who is this person and how close they are? Like, how much time and energy do you put into that part of social?
That's it. You can go hard with it. I'll see people like, this is so cool. You look so great. Reaching out to them through message, being like, hey, I saw you like Brittany's hair. I'd love to see you. And, you know, if you're cool, let's make a video like this, or let's get fun with it. Come see me. And then we'll do like a referral program, send digital card to them or
Oh my
stuff like
God.
that.
So the video thing, you'll kind of scout them out, uh, personal message them and say, look, come in and we can do something similar to you on video. And that kind of hooks them, that kind of jazzes them. It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Even though it may be intimidating, like, oh, I don't want to feel too pushy, you know, it's cool. Like if they see content and they're like, that person's so cool, and you personally message them, it's like a day maker a little bit.
Yeah. So there's a whole lot going on in your tutoring us that they're really, really subtle. But unless we talk about it, you know, somebody that's just getting into social media, they'll miss it. Like they don't understand how crucial it is. It seems so small, and yet it's huge. If you just take
Mm-hmm.
three or four of those really small, seemingly small things you're doing, you put them together, and it's like the bomb. You got the bomb
Mm-hmm.
going.
Yeah.
Well, I love it. Well, we're running way over, and I never run way over, Brooke. So this was just
I talk a lot.
no, this was a great conversation. You need to promise me that you'll come back for an encore because we're following each other, and I have a feeling that you're just getting warmed up. This thing is what you're doing with video and how you're following up with your getting your content on your client's page and following up on their followers, the comments they make. I think wherever you're at now is going to pale in 3, 4, 5 months. So I'd like to hook up with you at the back end of 2020 and see how much more you're blowing it up.
I would love that.
All right. Well, listen, I'm going to let you go, and then I'm going to wrap the show. So thanks for hanging with us, and I'll
Thank
get you on the
you.
back end. Let's give it up for Brooke Maki one more time, you guys. All right, stay well, my friend. You guys, that was a great interview. That was a great interview indeed. You know, and I learned from it. I'm going to be honest with you. We did not. There's some questions that I asked her that just kind of came up in me as she was chatting, and the biggie was this third key that anytime she's doing video content or photography, she makes it a point to send that content that she created to her clients, and then you know whether it's airdropping, texting, putting it direct messaging them that content on Instagram, and then she stays close to those pages, watches the engagement, kind of tracks the engagement to see who is it that's she was actually looking at, listening for particular type of comments, and then you know direct messaging saying, hey, I really liked what you said about, and come and see me, we can do that for you. And part of the doing that for you is video, her videography. So she's using, you know, she's an innovator that's discovering new ways on Instagram and now TikTok. Well, I think we're still far ahead of TikTok. Who knows where that's going to go? But she's developing videography, and now she's using that to build referrals. So it was an extraordinary conversation, and I loved having it. So give it up for her one more time, you guys. All right. If you're new to hanging out with us, you're watching Michael Cole Summit. This is our Facebook Live. We do this. This was our 195th interview. We'll continue to do this, and this will live on this page. And then what will happen from tonight's interview is about a 25-minute interview. I'm going to cook it down to probably 5 or 6 minutes, and then put it on Michael Cole Summit Instagram page, actually on the IG TV channel, my IG TV, and you'll be able to watch like a 5 or 10 minute highlight of this conversation tonight. So do that. I mean, it's really, really cool. Just that we continue to build that archive, and it's amazing. SummitSalon.com, our Bibles, if you will, our guides are the Social Digital Script Guide, the Social Digital Planner, and then we have over the top is really our text for communicating with clients in the chair as we're trading them up into other services. So it's a great ride. We also have a .com 365, Summit Salon 365, where we have more of our production value video courses, so that you can, for a nominal annual fee, you can watch just a ton of content 365 days a year. So take advantage of this. We have consulting services now that are online. So we have a salon spa owner social media consulting service, social media virtual consulting that can happen online, and you can schedule a complimentary 30-minute consultation. Somebody will either zoom.com or talk to you on our toll-free to really talk to you about what's possible. So take advantage of that as well. We have mobile calculators now that are really tied to you getting clear about how much money you want or need to make annually. It breaks it down into what your average day needs to look like, so that we can teach you how to plan your day with social to fill up the difference between the amount of money you want to make today and how much you have on the book, how to close that opportunity gap. So take advantage of that. We also have tracking apps where you can measure what you treasure, and on a monthly basis tell you who's coming in and what your service mix are and client mix. And by the way, you guys, did I tell you it's free? So this is not like a bait and switch. So if I'm you, I'd be taking advantage of this big time. Many of you tonight kind of complimented you love the shirt that I'm wearing. It's one of my favorites, unicorn shirt. And there's a nonprofit.com, mctattoos.com. And every week, Rob Miller, our illustrator, designs something. And I don't wear tattoos, I wear tattoos. So if you're interested in that, get on that .com. Take a peek at what we have there. We've got some really cool stuff. And all the proceeds go to sacred causes that move my soul. So children literacy, people that are in the recovery communities. So it's a great cause, and they're cool shirts too. So take us up on it. So I always like to end our sponsor, L'Oreal Professional Product Division. These are L'Oreal's brands, and they're amazing brands. And when you support us by using those brands and get your guests to use those brands, that's a beautiful thing, because they sponsor us in ways that we can continue to bring this content to you in the way that we're bringing it to you. So you can see the lines. We got Redken, Purology, Pulp Ride, which is our newest family member, Mazzani. And Mazzani now is partnered with Redken, Matrix, Baxter, Biolage, SE, Kerastase, L'Oreal Professional. So please use those brands, because it's a beautiful thing. It all works collectively for a synergy. And then last but not least, Summit Salon Business Center. If you haven't been to Summit yet, come to Summit. If you're not working with a coach, work with a coach. Get on our .com, and we've got some surprises that we're going to be launching in June this year. I'm just going to start leaking it now. Been designing a course called iSummit, the iSummit Salon, and you can't come to iSummit until you've been to Summit. So iSummit's going to be for our 4,000 and growing alumni salons only. So it's really cool, and hope to see you there. So great night. I'm going to let you go, and see you next. And in the meantime, keep on blowing it up.